Hello dear Jazz, welcome back to a new video, a new month, new everything. I hope you are well. As you can see, it is summer. The weather has been fabulous, which has, I think really helped lift everybody's spirits. So yeah, I'm just kind of dressed in the attire. I'm trying to get a suntan, because as we all know, holidays this year aren't happening. We were meant to go away on Friday and that's been cancelled completely. We can't book it later or anything like that. So we're requesting a refund on the flights. Accommodation has already been cancelled, but that does mean I'm not going to get my Maltese tan. We're not going to kind of get the summer sea, sand, swimming pool and all of that. But you know what? I just kind of want life to go back to normal here, and that will be enough for me. Like, I can live without a holiday. I hope you are well. As it happens, I think our death toll is now approaching like 150. I think it's definitely under the 200 mark each day now, and that's kind of in all settings. It's still not great, obviously. Each death that happens is a tragedy, but has come down dramatically. We just really need to try and keep it that way. As of yesterday, we had a new kind of review announcement thing. Some schools are reopening to years 1 and year 6, and as of the 15th of June, non-essential retails are opening up to the public again with social distancing measures still in place. So it's good. Stuff is slowly starting to open. What's not so great is that it's not back to normal yet, and there's just that kind of massive question mark as to whether it's actually going to get back to normal, whether it's going to be a new normal. They're saying they're sticking with the 2-meter distance for now, whereas a lot of other countries have actually compacted it to 1 meter. But who knows? I appreciate they don't want to rush things and then have to backtrack, so I'd rather they take things slowly and not go backwards. But at the same time, it is just so irritating. I've had absolutely no word from work at all. I'm still on furlough, and that lasts for this month now by the government purely. And then as of July, I think, or as of August, I can't remember, the employer will start having to pay some of the furlough money at the same time, so that it's not just all the government. So I think for the rest of June at least, I think our company is probably going to keep everyone on furlough, even if, they think they could reopen for takeaway, which I think we probably could. We're all getting paid more by being on furlough. So as an employer, if I was one, I would want to keep my staff on furlough, knowing that, they've got their income of sorts coming through. The minute we open for takeaway, I assume we end up coming off of furlough. And then everybody kind of is fighting it out for shift work. Now, I did see something about a part-time furlough, but I haven't really read into that too much, so I'm not entirely sure what it means. But that's kind of the situation we've got at the minute. We are now allowed to meet more than one person outside from our household, as long as it's outside, yada yada, 2 meters and all the rest of it. So I met up with Gemma a couple of days ago. I've literally not seen her since January, which is probably the longest time we've not seen each other. So we went to the park, we had a picnic, we kind of bought our own food, sat on a 2-meter blanket, and we just had a massive catch up. She is finding it really rough. Obviously she lives by herself, she works for the NHS, and she's just struggling massively. So I tried to boost her spirits by going to see her. My friends I have still not seen, and I've hardly even spoken to be fair. All of them are still in work, like my little circle. The only one who isn't is Jess, but she is too far away to meet. But we did do like a Zoom meeting, video thing. But both Becca, Soph, and their partners are all working, so while there's me saying let's do a chat, they're actually quite busy. So that hasn't happened yet. But it's nice that the weather has been as good as it has been, although it means I'm waking up extremely early because it is so bright upstairs. The sun kind of woke me up this morning around 5ish, and then we won't go to bed till like 11 tonight. It's going to be a long day. I'm planning on meeting Mr. in the park today after lunch, so he is probably the only person really that I'm kind of seeing on a weekly basis that is not my parents, and it is just nice to see him. We speak every day, but you know, in person is just so much better. So yeah, that's kind of the day in the life. We are seeing Nan tomorrow because again they are saying that you can now sit in other people's gardens, as long as you remain the distance and all the rest of it. So we're going to do that because although we are doing it via the front door and kind of standing back and talking to her that way, she is, you know, it's not nice, like all her neighbours can see us and hear us and everything. So if we can at least do it in her garden, there's a little bit more privacy, even though we will be shouting at her and she won't understand what I'm saying. Dad has just messaged me saying that there is no queue in Sainsbury's, so things are changing, and Hayley and John have got a delivery slot with Tesco's, which is amazing because for the last 12 weeks they've not been able to get one because they're not on the vulnerable list, they don't have the priority book off thing. So yeah, so that's the kind of socialness. What have I been up to here? Honestly, not that much. So I've been sunbathing, like I said, the last few days. I've finished my diamond art. It was so nice to do it, and it's so nice to have it finished. Like, I love it. That has by far been my favourite one to do. I do really want to get it framed as well, but I've got no walls. I have been slowly kind of doing my Disney spreadsheet, and I'm trying to watch Disney films that I've never seen before. I'm trying to binge watch some Netflix seasons that I've kind of said I would and I haven't got round to doing. That is pretty much it. I've also bought, so now that I've finished this, my next kind of hobby project thing is I've got 2 more puzzles left to do out of that kind of series that I talked about a little while ago. But I bought myself a lockdown present. So we all agreed that, you know, lockdown has been horrendous. It's changed our lives massively. And if we can survive it, then we all should get something as like a treat to ourselves, like something we wouldn't normally get. Have a little bit of splurge, that type of thing. So me and Hayley were totally on board with this from the beginning. And I really, really wanted the Lego castle, the Disney castle Lego. However, it is out of stock. So I went and spontaneously bought the Main Street train station Lego set instead, because I had my heart set on the castle, and when the castle wasn't there, the train station was just kind of calling my name. So I bought it. It's upstairs waiting to be built. I know it's a bit early because we are still technically in lockdown. However, I figure I need the lockdown time to build it, because if work does open up and I do go back, I'm not gonna, you know, have it finished. So I had to buy it a little bit early. By the time I built it, lockdown hopefully will be over. So I'm really excited about that as well. It's Father's Day soon. Mum and Dad's anniversary is coming up first though, this Friday, which obviously we were meant to be on holiday for. We're going to try and have Hayley John round in the garden, and just hope no one snitches on us. Then Father's Day is the 17th of June, I think. Nan's birthday is the 26th. Then obviously we're on to July, and Mum's 60th will be in kind of eyesight. So have to hope and pray that if like the worst comes to it, outdoor things can happen a bit more freely and no 2-meter shit and all the rest of it. So that is what we're hoping for. You are pretty much up to date now. I really don't have anything else to say. I'm meeting Mr. after lunch today. It's only 10 a.m. I've been up for 4 hours already. So I might even sit in the garden for a bit today, try and work on these straps, and just get a bit warmer, because I'm not cold, but I'm not warm yet. So I will speak to you soon. I hope you and Sam are well and keeping, you know, social distance and happiness and all things sane. So I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello, dear Jazz. Welcome back to a new video. Excuse me. We are on the 21st, I think. It was Father's Day yesterday. Whatever day that makes it, today is the day after. I hope you're well. I currently have the house to myself, so I thought I would check in. I did do a minor video, but I just haven't uploaded it yet. So I will try and get this one up as soon as possible for you. Just a bit of a life update, really. I've started work again. We have been open for a grand total of 6 days now. Today is our 7th day. So last Monday, we kind of got the call saying, guys, we're gonna open for takeaway only, but we need to clean the restaurant, we need to start doing orders and everything like that to kind of get back up and running for Tuesday. So I went in on the Monday, did the cleaning. It's kind of a half day, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've been open, and we, touch wood, we've done really well in terms of sales, better than what was predicted. But I do think a large amount of that could have been down to the fact maybe it was Father's Day, maybe people were, you know, seeing their fathers and stuff in gardens, who knows. But it was really good. So I just really hope that we have a good week this week as well. Like, it would be really nice to just keep going and be successful. Unfortunately, of a company of about 900, I don't know who's calling me, I'm not going to answer, of a company that's about like 900-ish people, it's said to be known that redundancies are going to be happening across the board, and not just like the lower staff. It'll be, you know, from head office bosses gradually going down to, you know, the waiters and the kitchen staff and things like that. And our area manager kind of said, you know, there could be as many as 200 people's jobs at risk, which is a lot. Like, that's over 20%, which is scary. But, you know, times are really tough, and especially for hospitality. Like, I want it to get better, I really do, but it's so hard to kind of see the tunnel at the moment. So thankfully my job at the moment is safe, and I'm so grateful for it. Like, I can't complain about work anymore, because there are so many people who would rather be at work or, you know, no longer have a job. So I'm no longer going to be complaining. I'm just going to get on with it and, you know, be grateful for what I've got. On that kind of note, I guess, Boris is set to do a review of the kind of 4-week review lockdown situation this week, actually, I think Thursday. And it was originally kind of said maybe he's going to review the 2 meter to 1 meter distancing. He was going to kind of set out the guidelines for hospitality industry or pubs. And there was also the talk about whether, like, our bubbles would increase. So at the moment we can see one household as long as they live by themselves. So obviously I live with mum and dad, so we are mingling with Nan. She's not critical, like in the critical group, so it's safe for us to go and see her. But we're not allowed to mix with anybody else. She's not allowed to see anybody else. So it'd be really, really nice if they could loosen that a little bit more, because, you know, I'm only going along with that because it's mum's mum. Like, she wants to go and see her. She used to go and see her. So that's fine. But it'd just be so nice to go and see my friends, or like not have to stand 2 meters away from people at work, or, you know, I'm missing normality. I left mum and dad. I had to go to Sainsbury's today, and I must say that the supermarkets have gone back to normal quite quickly, I think. Like their stock is back and it feels normal now going into supermarkets, even though you have to queue. The queue for the one that's near me goes quite quickly, and I know that there are certain branches or certain supermarkets that do tend to have more horrific queues. But I think as long as you go to the right one or you get lucky, you can be in and out within like your usual time. But then at the same day, I had to queue the other day for 40 minutes for 3 items that we needed to get from work. So that was annoying. But in terms of the other shops, they are now open, like the non-essential stuff. I've not yet been into any of them, partly because I don't need anything. So I'm trying to steer clear or order online, like just to avoid it. Mum and Dad have gone to the EE shop today because their phone contracts expired. So they really want to get an upgrade, but it wasn't the type of thing they wanted to do online. So they've gone in, and as I kind of left them, I saw the EE woman in the shop. She had the visor, she had the mask, she had everything. And it would, again, just be so nice to get back to normal where you don't have to do that. On public transport, you have to wear a mask, which, you know, that's not... I don't think that's a bad thing because it's a bit different. In a shop, if you see a person, you can choose not to go down that aisle. You could choose to walk around them. You could choose to, you know, if the shop's really busy, say, right, I'll do this one instead and I'll come back to it. If you really need this bus or you're trying to get somewhere in a certain amount of time, you'd just get on it, wouldn't you? So it makes sense that it's more crowded. You can't really fit that many people on in a big space, although they are saying that some of the buses you can only fit 10 people on now. So how on earth the drivers are keeping track of how many people are getting in and out of the buses, especially when you still don't have to pay on all of them, which I find strange because the government have they've kindly given quite a lot of money to all these different industries and stuff, and again, I appreciate it. I was on furlough. But you'd think the minute they introduce masks on public transport, you think they'd have got every bus to start charging again, because they are now losing so much money because people are just still thinking, right, okay, fine, it's still free, but I have to wear a mask. So I'm going to get on it because it's still free. The minute you say to people you have to pay and you have to wear a mask, that might decrease people and it might put people off. So I think they definitely need to take that step on getting public transport back up to, you know, you have to pay. It's not just going to be free forever. And if you have to wear masks, then, you know, increase the capacity again. So yeah, it's slowly starting to come back, but little bit like that at the moment. Yesterday events was Father's Day. Friday, I think, is Nan's birthday. So again, because she's in our bubble, Mum and Dad are going to pick her up in the car and bring her back here so that she can have a change of scenery, because it'll be the first time she's left her house since January, I think. She last came around to us on New Year's Day. Normally she'd have been around for Easter, but at that period she wasn't allowed. So I think this will be her first trip out since January, and I don't think she's even been to the doctors in that time. And normally she is one who likes going to the doctors, likes going to the hospital and things like that. Even if there's nothing really wrong with her, she thinks there is. So that'll be really weird to see how she kind of reacts in a place that's not her own home. And then that takes us on to nearing July. So obviously 4th of July was when the government did the whole restaurants can reopen and things like that. Whether or not we will, I'm not entirely sure. I think they want to kind of push the delivery at the moment if they can, because what they don't want to do is put up all this PPE and everything else, and then a week later the government say, right, you can now all go back to normal. We don't know how long the PPE needs to be up. We don't know how strict we need to be in terms of like the 1 meter, 2 meter and stuff like that. We don't want to put a load of stuff down at 2 meters and then them say you can make it 1. Like, we need more guidance. definitely. That is kind of what's happening. I need to email our cake lady soon. So I paid this kind of girl who I know to make Mum's 60th birthday cake, which is in July. So she's still got a lot of time, but I'd already paid for it. So it was kind of hold the deposit, but I just paid her for everything because then, you know, it's paid. So I need to make sure she can still do it. Hopefully by July, like, I can go pick it up from her and I can go and talk to her and stuff. But if I can't, I'm just going to say, please can you leave it in a box and, you know, put it on your doorstep or something, and then I'll come and collect it once your door's shut. I trust, you know, that if she was ill or anything like that, she would say she can't do it, but touch wood, I'm hoping she can. I've seen plenty of other cakes that she's been making for people kind of going out on her Instagram, so fingers crossed that can happen. And I've also spoken to my bosses about having Mum's birthday off. So her actual birthday falls on a Saturday, and we've got plans that day to go to a restaurant, not my restaurant, a different restaurant, which who knows if they'll be open or not. But even if they're not, we were going to do like a takeaway here, but I still need the day off. And then the Tuesday, we were going to go to Highclere Castle, which is the Downton Abbey set, but it's like it's a real life castle, but that's the set they used for the programme. She really liked the programme. She really wants to go and see the castle, so we had that booked in, and it is still booked in. And the company kind of emailed Hayley saying, yeah, you can still come, like, this is our new policy. And as it happens, I don't think they've said anything about you need to, you know, wear a mask or the rest of it, but we do have to get there. So it will be masked up a bit. Hopefully when we get there it won't be, so that we can take photos and stuff. And what we really need is for them to do the whole bubble allowance so that we can include Hayley and John, obviously, at a little bit closer distance than just 2 meters. So that is the kind of plan for the next month. At work at the moment, it is just me and my boss. Nobody else has been on furlough yet, because if they were to be, there is not enough hours for everybody. So by doing this, it means we're in every day, but we are getting our hours. If not, we're getting slightly more than what we were on furlough. So that's just kind of how it is for now. There really isn't that much else to report. I'm waiting on a couple of postal items to come, and I am trying to persuade Mum that I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, it's just a white blank out in the garden. Nope, you still can't see it. Never mind. Out there, basically, is a garage which has a car in it, but we don't really use the car. So I've asked Mum, or started hinting at her, saying that I would really, really like to make that my workshop for this project that I've told you about. Because the issue I've got is my room, there is no space in my room. And the dining room, which she did originally say I could have, has the really big table in it. Now, yes, I could use the table, but if we need to eat on it, or if Nan comes over, like, there's just not enough space in there for storage. So I was like, if I can use the garage, that gets it out of the house completely. It won't look dirty or untidy or anything like that. I'll have everything all in one place. And then as a potential, you know, if we ever sold the property, which she has talked about, to be fair, that would be a really good asset to say, you know, it could be a garage, or it could be a workshop, come gym, come office, come all the rest of it. How many people these days actually drive? Not that many. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to work on. So ideally by July, maybe just after her birthday, I would love to have a kind of a setting date, because the biggest part of that is going to be getting electricity because there's 4 windows, but they are tiny, so it's really quite dark in there, and it will need a good painting and all the rest of it. And then once I've finally convinced her that that needs to happen, I then need to tell her I'm not doing the project alone, which obviously, you know, I've got a partner who's, you know, in this with me all the way, but I'm just not sure how she's going to take the news given who it is. So, you know, baby steps, baby steps. We need to have the 60th birthday celebration first, so not to ruin anything. And then I will break the bombshell. So that is my life up to date in a nutshell. I'm not due on today till this evening. So I'm just gonna watch a little bit Disney Plus. I know the new Maleficent film is on there, so I think I'm gonna give that a watch today. I'm desperately trying to go through all the kind of short films and stuff like that I've never seen to then watch them. So that I can just be like, yeah, seen it, loved it, and kind of build up that, yes, knowledge, I guess, of all the early stuff. I'm going to Love You and Leave You now. I don't know where they are. They've been absolutely ages. I left them at maybe 9:30. And it's now nearly 11:25. They've been in there 2 hours. So I hope they're going to be home soon, because I can imagine they're going to be full of rage if it has or hasn't worked. So let me know how you and Sam are getting on. I hope you're both well. I know it's kind of the summer break for you now because you finished uni. But I also know you were going to be working on the farm. So give me a ring, bell, whatever you want to call it. And I will speak to you soon. Bye. Dear Jazz, hello, welcome back. I am so sorry. The last video I put together for you never actually made it onto YouTube, so it'll probably be the kind of first part of this, and then this will be the last part of this vlog. It's been a while. We are on the 23rd, 22nd of July. I'm not sure which one. And wow, like a whole month has just passed us by, and I've been so busy, so busy. So work has been absolutely manic. We've got the customers back. We're busier than ever. Like, capacity is still reduced, but you know, we're trying to turn the tables. We've got bookings every day. Delivery is still going nuts for people who don't want to risk going out yet. And it's just crazy. Like, it's so busy. And of course I had 3 months where I wasn't, you know, completely walking and running around every day. So to do that solidly for the last 4 weeks, like, it's exhausting. But I'm grateful that I've got a job, and, you know, I can see everybody who I want to see again. And it's just nice to have something to do that is not necessarily what I want to do. Like, I don't mind doing it, and yes, I'm happy I've got the job. But, you know, there's still parts of me that does get stressed and does get annoyed slightly, but I'm happy that I've got that back in my life, because for a long period I was just happy doing what I wanted. And that was really nice, but it didn't feel quite right. Whereas now I've got that balance again, it feels more normal. Yes, we are nearing the end of July, which meant Mum's birthday has been and gone. I was going to vlog a bit of it, I just didn't. I'm so sorry. It kind of came around so quickly, and we spent so long trying to plan it as well, that it just kind of went past in like a blink of an eye. So her birthday was on the Saturday the 18th, and it was her 60th. And Hayley and I have literally spent the last, possibly since January, 5 months maybe, planning this thing. So we'd planned a cake from Heidi, which I'm sure you've seen the photos of. We'd planned a meal that was originally going to be in Mum's favourite place, but then they weren't open. So then we had to move it to my work, and then it was a case of, can we still do what we want to do? Can we bring cake in? Can we bring our banners in? Can we do all of this? So up until, I think it was 3 days before the birthday, we had no idea which restaurant we were going to be in, because we were waiting for the one Mum wanted, without her knowing about it, to open. And then they literally opened the night before, and we were like, it's a bit risky, because when we first opened, we felt quite stressed and a couple of things went wrong and everything. So I said, look, I know my place is doing everything as good as they possibly can in terms of sticking to the rules and the distancing and the procedures. I was like, I'd feel safer going there. Okay, it might not be what Mum really wants, but it'll be more enjoyable if we're all safe. And you know, we know we can decorate and bring the cake and everything like that. So we went to my work, which was a bit my day off when I was there, but it was fine. And yeah, it was lovely. It was really, really nice. A, to not be working, B, to be spending time with not only mum and dad, but Haley and John as well. And yeah, it was really nice. We gave her all her presents at the table. And she loved them. She was crying. I'm sure they were tears of joy and not tears of sadness. We'd seen Nan that day as well, like in the daytime. And then on the Monday, which was only a couple of days ago, for her big present, we took her to Highclere Castle, which is where Downton Abbey was filmed, and that's kind of one of her favourite TV series. So although Dad and I, we've not watched it, like I know of it, and I know some of the actors and actresses in it, but, you know, I've never actually seen it. I don't really know what the storyline is, but she was, you know, made up. She loved it. And we had such nice weather, a bit like today where it is just so sunny. It was just really nice, again, to spend time together. John stayed at home and was working, so it was actually just 4 of us. And again, it hasn't been, love him to pieces, don't get me wrong, there hasn't been the 4 of us in quite a while, so it felt really nice to do that. And like the room is just decorated in kind of cards and flowers, and we did have helium balloons, but I can see they've disappeared. They must have deflated. But I think we did really well in terms of organising everything, especially when we were still kind of just coming out of lockdown. Like, there was so much that could have gone wrong, stuff that did go wrong that we had to fix and change. But I think we did okay. So that's kind of the latest on the home front. I've got a couple of things in here. I don't really know whether to show you or not. In the dining room, it's a little bit of a dumping ground recently. We have down there, throughout the last 4 months, we've been kind of clearing out the cupboards, really. And we've got so many bags to give to charity. It's unbelievable. Like, we do kind of like a spring clean every other 2 months, I'd say. Me especially, of like my clothes and just stuff that I kind of accumulate. I don't even know where it comes from. But every 2 months, I'd say, we purge the cupboards and we do donate. But because we had so long in lockdown, we literally went through every single cupboard in the house and every room in the house, like literally loft, kitchen, airing cupboard, my room, mum's room, like everything. And we managed to accumulate some bags, but we are still waiting on charity shops to open. And when they do, we can get rid of all the rubbish that is down there. And then, ideally, I want to turn this room into that working office situation. So I've told you about the project that I'm planning on doing and starting, and it is in the process. It's just taking really long at this moment in time. The garage, it's just going to cost too much to try and get that refurbed, because one of the main issues is that there is no electric, and that's the biggest thing, because it's so dark in there. Like, you need a light to be able to work, and I'm a bit inclined to spend that much money on something that is all the way out there when we're nearly approaching winter and it's going to be freezing. So if I can, I want to try and persuade Mum that, you know, that could be my second room, which I know is really cheeky because I've already got like one of the biggest rooms. However, my room has sloping ceiling. This room has straight walls. So imagine how much stuff I could put in this room. Like, I could have a wall of pops in my office. Like, that would be amazing. And speaking of my stuff, I'm going to come up and show you what I'm talking about, because I'm running out of room, like desperately running out of room. So I went on a bit of a binge recently, and this is now the latest collection. So the ones at the top are all complete, and as you go down, oh no, as you go down and across, like literally I've just got so many, and I'm just running out of room. So I've also gone and bought the Lego castle, which is on like a back order, which I'm excited for, but I'm just not sure if it's going to come anytime soon. And when it does come, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to have time to do it. So who knows? But yeah, so that is my current life at the moment. Work is interesting. So not only are we busy, we've got quite a few staffing issues at the moment in terms of trying to get people back off furlough. But probably shouldn't say any of that on here just in case, so I'll message you that separately. I've just seen a trailer for the new MasterChef Australia. TV series, which I'm really excited about. However, not the same judges, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. But never mind. That's about it really. Mum and Dad have gone to the nursery. They're trying to fancy up the garden. I don't know if I turn you around if you'll be able to see this or not, but out in the garden we have new gates. So one of the things Mum and Dad spent on during lockdown was new garage gates and a front door gate. They look really nice, but they're quite grand, so it almost has a sign like, "We're rich, come and rob us." Even though we're not rich and we're not living in a mansion, but you know, it does look nice. That is it. I don't really have anything else to say. I just wanted to check in, say hey, July's nearing an end. Mum's birthday has happened, she loved it. Work, I'm still working, touch wood for now, and it's really, really busy. We, on the 24th of July, it's going to become mandatory to wear face masks in shops, just like it is on public transport at the moment. However, our place has been very optional in terms of whether we want to wear masks or not. And we've had quite a few customer complaints, not through our branch, but through other branches, saying how can the staff not be wearing PPE? Which I think, quite frankly, if they expect us to wear it, they should be wearing it too. At least while we're standing at their table and while they're going to the toilet. And then once we've moved away from them and the food is in front of them, they could then take it off to eat. So it's a two-way street. I'm really, really annoyed that they think it's all on us, because at the end of the day, yeah, fine, we're wearing it to keep them safe, but they're not wearing it to keep us safe. So annoying. But on the 24th, it is going to become mandatory that staff have to wear it too, which is irritating as hell, because they are the most uncomfortable things in the world. The customers can't hear you, you have to shout, it falls down your face and you have to shove it back up, which is surely more unhygienic than just not having one and touching your face. So anyway, I kind of voiced that, and they are ordering the visors in instead, so it's going to look like I'm just coming out of a metal workshop instead, but at least my glasses aren't going to steam up and people will still be able to see my face and kind of my mouth, and if I ever smile at them, and it should be cooler as well. That's the whole reason why I'm opting for the plastic instead of the cloth, because it's a hot, demanding job and customers don't really appreciate it when they're sitting down next to an aircon drinking wine. So anyway, annoying, but I'm going to make the most of the next few days being able to just act normal. But yes, so that's it. I hope you're well. I know you started work again. Don't know if you're planning on going down to Cornwall anytime soon. Drop me a video when you can, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye! So, dear Jazz, welcome to a video, possibly the first one in about 2 months, I'm going to say. First of all, a major happy birthday to you. I know this isn't going to go up for ages, but it is in fact the 25th today, and obviously it's your birthday. So I hope you're having a good time doing whatever you're doing. The weather is atrocious. It's so windy, it's rainy. It's not cold, but it's just not nice. So I hope you've got something planned that doesn't affect it. It's been an age. It's been an age. So I've just been non-stop working for ages now, since we opened, basically. Little life update, sort of. We are doing the eat out scheme. which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 50% off up to £10 per person. And we have just been so busy. I've got the hiccups. I'm so sorry. We've just been so busy. It's just been incredible. We've been like turning people away, been fully booked up like a week in advance and everything. We're already booked up for the last day, which is next week. We've still got 2 days this week to go, and it's just been horrible. Like, we're all so tired anyway, and yeah, it's just been non-stop. We had a bit of kind of bad news, and then some more bad news, and more bad news, and then a little bit of good news. So bad news number one is that we lost one of our chefs. He was meant to turn up to work one morning and didn't, and then one of the chefs who lives with him went with my manager back to her house to check on him, and he'd actually died overnight. So that was horrible. That was a good 3 weeks ago now, I think. And yeah, it was just awful. So sad that it happened. It was hard to then work that day as well, like knowing it had happened and then coming to work and trying to continue working once we found out was hard. Then we've had, so they've been trying to get help in the kitchen because they were then not the full team. We didn't want it to seem like we were replacing him, but they needed the help. They couldn't do August without another person. We then had issues on the floor. So one of our supervisor guys was due to go on holiday for 4 weeks, and at the same time we still had a girl who was off, and we were like, okay, fine, we're gonna have to try and manage without two of them for 2 weeks. And then it looked okay, and we thought the girl was going to come back, and she didn't. She's basically, whilst quarantining, managed to break her little toe, and therefore can't work. Yet she came into work walking to tell us she can't work. So I was so pissed off. The fact that the rota had been done, the fact she was on it, meant all the hours that I thought I was going to be doing wasn't the case, and I ended up with another 20 more than I should have done. I was just livid, so livid. So we are now on to the second week where we've been without 2 managers. So it's literally been me, my boss, and then the rest of waiting staff. So we are the only 2 that can open and close, like lock up the building and everything. It's just been so difficult because, you know, we're doing long hours anyway, on top of trying to place orders, deal with complaints, manage the staff, make sure we're locking the building correctly, and it's just nasty. So she is actually due back next week, right when we don't really need her because we're in September. But if she comes back, we're just going to throw so much crap at her because she has got out of it so lightly. And the fact that I think she's still getting paid, like, I just think it's really wrong, really. Like, she should never have gone away in the first place. And she came back and she had to quarantine, which she knew she'd have to do before she even went. And then she went and broke her toe by staying at home. Like, I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for this girl. And then the guy who's gone on holiday is due back the week after her. So once they are both back, I have 1 week working with both of them. And then I've booked a week off in September because I just thought, you know what, screw it. I'm so tired. I need a break. I've been here every single day for the last 6 months, at least, by the time, like, September comes. I'm just done. So it's been really stressful. The only bit of the good news thing that I was saying is that we have now hired 2 waitresses who, one, I'm hoping we can train up to become a supervisor. She's the same age as me, born the same year, which is great. So she's a bit more higher up than just your average high school student looking for £10 pocket money type of thing, will blow you off at last minute. This girl actually needs a job, wants a job, is quick to learn, wants to learn. You know, I trust that, you know, we can get her there. I had a little bit of a mishap the other week. I had during like the hot period, had like a blister. This is going to sound grim, but I had a blister on my leg. Popped, it got infected. And I've been on antibiotics for the last 5 days. I've got 2 more days left taking it. But apparently it was like really close to like blood poisoning. All the rest of it, you can imagine how dramatic Mum got. But because I've been working every day and I've been standing on it, it has been just doubly hard trying to work and everything. It's just been a bit... But yeah, so that's the work life update. Friends, I've not seen anyone since like January. Sophie came into the restaurant to eat with her partner, and I, did a brief hi. I spoke to Jess again really, really briefly about somebody we know who's got married and is pregnant. But I haven't met her. I've still got a Christmas present upstairs. You and Sam, I'd love to come and see in September, maybe October, I don't know. It all depends if there's another lockdown or not. There's all this talk about, yes, there's going to be, but I don't know. A lot of it can be speculation. Who knows? Hayley and John are good, so we are in August. They've both had their birthdays this year. And they had a good time. I'm trying to remember what we did. Hayley bought a diamond ring. That was her birthday. We went to London. It was actually my first time in London since the whole Corona thing. And it wasn't that bad. We obviously had to wear masks on underground and in shops and everything. So that was a bit... But it wasn't busy. Like walking down Oxford Street, you had space around you. Like normally you kind of bashing elbows with somebody who's like running in the other direction. There was none of that. There was the odd person on the underground who, when you go down the escalator, you in particular had this thing of, why are they running? There's another train coming. You had a couple of people doing that, even though you're not meant to now. But honestly, it was fine. I felt completely safe. I'd happily go back there again. As it happened though, the Disney store, I was so disappointed in. The stock hadn't really rotated much since the last time I visited, so there wasn't really anything new. I actually left the Disney store having not bought anything, which was very strange. Don't worry, I fixed it as soon as I came home. I spent a fortune. So yeah, that's kind of life. John had a good birthday. They've been to Brighton once. So next up, it's Dad's. And we were sort of thinking maybe Mum and Dad could go for like a weekend away or something, because they've not had their actual holiday this year. It'd be nice for them to have like a getaway. They could go to antique shops, do like museums and stuff. But now we're trying to organise what date, what time, where they're going to go. And then we've got the whole, will it be affected by a new lockdown or something like that. So it's a risk we're going to have to take, but I think you kind of have to take the risks. Otherwise you're just not going to enjoy the rest of this year. Hayley really wants to go to Croatia in October for their first year wedding anniversary. Again, that has just hit the kind of quarantining list for England or the UK. So she said, well, do you know what? If we have to quarantine when we get back, it's not the end of the world. They can both work from home still. It's not like they're going to be out of money. They'll just have to sort food. But as it happens, the kind of online grocery shopping, which was hell at the start of all of this, like you couldn't get slots or anything like that, that's now died down massively, and it's a lot easier to get shopping delivered home. So she was like, I'm really not worried about having to quarantine. Obviously it's just more of a worry if they caught something and things like that, but do you know what, as long as they're sensible, as long as they still take masks and precautions and everything, I don't see why they shouldn't go if they want to. I for one am probably not going to go anywhere this year. As much as I want to go to Paris, I really don't want to go wearing a mask. Plus I want to save my money. The Orlando anniversary is still next year. I still plan on going there for that, so I think I'll just save the money that I would have used for Paris this year, Halloween, for next, and put money towards Christmas as well. So My aunt did a flying visit 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, I can't remember. But because I've been working so much, I think I saw her for about maximum 3 hours. So felt a little bit bad. But, you know, she seemed fine. Gemma went back to Norfolk with her. Gemma's now come back from Norfolk with a kitten. Works 15-hour shifts, and I don't know, a bad idea, but I'm just not going to get involved. She's had a lot of boy drama as well, and I'm just done with it. I'm meant to have a day off this Thursday, so we are currently on Tuesday, so I've just got to get through tonight and a double tomorrow, and then I can have Thursday off. She said, can we meet? And it sounds really bad, but I might just blow her out. Like, it's my first day off in possibly 3 weeks. I just need a break. Like, even if I'm not doing anything, I just kind of want to binge watch Disney movies under a duvet, especially if the weather's like this. Just kind of relax, not have to go anywhere, not have to socialise. Like, it sounds really, really boring, but when your job involves talking all the time and trying to be nice to people and sympathise with people, the last thing you want to do is sympathise with more people. So that's life at the moment. So yeah, it's been a bit of a moaning video, I'm afraid. I hope you and Sam are well. I think you're currently working on the farm, I think. And I assume uni resumes in September at some point. Let me know, because it would be cool to try and arrange a get together. But obviously a lot depends on work for both of us, uni for you, COVID for both of us. So we'll just see. Okay, we'll play it by ear. But I will try and upload this one soon, and you know, I'll try and speak to you again before Christmas. See you soon, bye!